Greetings, everyone. This small group discussion unit has been very stimulating for my students every time I've used it. On top of that, they've come away with a greater understanding of some interesting cultural differences. From the feedback that students have given me at the end of the unit, I discovered some reasons why students seem stimulated by this discussion. First, many of the Asian students were surprised at how much Westerners think about happiness. Also, they enjoyed comparing with their classmates what made them feel good, and they realized that they were often quite different. Some students were surprised that some of their classmates actually were uncomfortable with the idea of feeling happy. In this video, I'll describe the unit, and in the notes below, I'll include a link where you can find the handouts for the complete activity. So, to get started and before they get into small groups, I have them prepare for the discussion individually. There are 3 pre-discussion exercises. First, they read a short one-page article titled, "Happiness is Not the Same in the East and West." And to give you a sense of the content of the article, here are the first 2 paragraphs.
Most people in the West, for example Americans, are surprised to learn that many people in Eastern cultures, for example in East Asia, do not think that feeling happy is the most important goal in their lives. Westerners are even more shocked to hear that some people in Asia are actually afraid of happiness. Recent studies have shown that people in the West and East describe happiness differently and have different ideas about how to get it. In many ways, our culture determines what we do to get happiness.
So the rest of the article explains what researchers have found about how people in the East and West differ in what they think happiness is and how to get it. After they read the article again individually, they complete the second pre-discussion exercise in which they answer 10 true-false questions about the article to build their confidence that they really understood the most important ideas in it. In the third exercise, they mentally formulate some ideas about how they would answer the discussion questions. Here are some examples. So it says, think about these discussion questions. You don't have to write anything. So number 1, is feeling happy an important goal for you? Number 2, in paragraphs 5 and 6, it talks about Americans Jason and Lucy and Aki, an Asian girl. Do you think you get happiness more like Jason and Lucy do, or more like Aki does? Number 3, do you think that you can be happy if your family or friends don't have harmony? Number 4, what is something good that has happened to you recently? Number 5, do you think that you caused that good thing to happen, or do you think that it was fate? Number 6, do you sometimes think, I prefer not to be joyful because usually joy is followed by sadness, and I am frightened to let myself become too happy, etc. There's more discussion questions. Now the students are well prepared for the discussion. To make this the most engaging for the students, I recommend these. First, put students in groups of 3. If possible, mix students with different cultural backgrounds. And, if that's not possible because your students are all from the same culture, that's fine. I've had that situation, and the students were just as engaged. Also, don't give the groups one list of questions. Divide the questions into student A, student B, and student C formats. By doing that, students are forced to really listen to each other and participate, and it prevents anyone from dominating. For example, here is how student A and student B's paper look. Of course, they can't see each other's paper. So you can see in Student A's paper, we have the directions. Read these questions to your partners and respond to theirs. And number 1, this is a discussion question. We should all answer this and ask follow-up questions. On a scale between 1 and 10, how happy are you today? You'll notice that we encourage them to ask follow-up questions. In the notes below, I'll include a link to a video in which I discuss teaching follow-up questions along with some exercises. I've also included some questions specifically about the passage. Look at student B's question number 5. Don't look at the article when you answer this question. Who believes that there needs to be a balance between happiness and sadness? People in the West or the East? As you can imagine, this unit has so many language skill development aspects. And best of all, students become totally engaged. They really want to understand their partner's opinions and experiences, and they enjoy explaining their own. I've also found that units like this help our students, ESL students, increase their confidence and prepare them for discussion groups in their non-ESL courses with native English speakers. Thank you for listening.